Hey guys, Josh from soccerreviewsforyou.com, bringing you a video today to talk about a situation I don't think Adidas has handled all that well. And there's a few things about this situation that I thought I would point out in today's video, and that is in regards to Messi, arguably the best player in the world. I know everyone has their own opinion on the Messi-Ronaldo thing and any other player that they might like a lot, but if you're making a team of the best 11 players in the world, Messi's going to be on that team. I don't think there's any question about that. With that being said, Messi, being as popular as he is, has his own signature line of boots with Adidas, and it's now on the Messi 16 generation. You have the 16 Plus Pure Agility, which retails for $300, technically the top end model if you want to call it that. And then below it, you have the Messi 16.1, which is kind of an alternate top end model, but it retails at $100 less at $200 US. Which one of these two shoes does Messi wear? Not the Pure Agility, but the 16.1, or at least a shoe that looks like the Messi 16.1. You can assume that his for sure has a custom shape to it, so it's specifically fit to his foot. Who knows what else has been modified though? It's really difficult to say from pictures and just watching him on TV. You can't really tell all that much unless you have the shoes in your hand and you have the opportunity to try them on, if at all possible. So again, keep in mind that any professional player is wearing a custom variation of whatever shoe it looks like they're wearing. So the fact that he's wearing a custom version of an Adidas boot doesn't really bother me all that much, but it definitely does bother me that you have a guy headlining a signature line of shoes and he doesn't wear what is technically the flagship model within that line. That's something that absolutely blows my mind and I'm sure confuses a lot of people, because if you watch the marketing material from Adidas whenever a new colorway of a Messi boot comes out, he's generally shown wearing the Pure Agility, but if you watch the games, he pretty much wears the 16.1 exclusively. I know that when this shoe first came out, he wore the 16 Plus Pure Agility in some charity games, I believe. I know I've seen pictures of him wearing them in some instances, but I would say 95% of the time, he's been wearing the 16.1. Why is that? Obviously, personal preference plays a part in your soccer shoes. This is something that I really stress on my channel to the point where I think it annoys some people, but it's truly the way that you should go about picking your shoes. In the case of a professional player like Lionel Messi, obviously he's under contract with Adidas. It's an endorsement deal. He's being paid by Adidas to represent their company and wear their product. In the case of Messi, though, he has a signature line, which obviously not too many players have. Ronaldo has a signature colorway within the Mercurial line, but technically not his own branded line. You can't buy the Ronaldo shoe that only Ronaldo wears, but you can buy the Messi boot that is exclusive to Messi, at least in terms of big name professional players. Other players wear Mercurials, not just Ronaldo. So I think a lot of people, when they assume or that when they see a signature line, whatever athlete it may be, whatever sport it may be, it's not even just with soccer, you expect that that athlete had some kind of say in the design of the shoe. He had some kind of input, he had some kind of, let's say, request, if you will, on how that shoe should be, how that shoe should fit, how that shoe should feel, what that shoe should incorporate. That's based on what he likes in a new pair of shoes. But obviously, with the Messi 16 line, even partially with the 15 line, he didn't wear a regular version of the Messi 15.1. Messi doesn't like the top end offering within his own signature line that, again, one would assume that he would have been at least somewhat involved in the development of. And that's again where I think there's a big misconception when you see signature models or even signature colorways, is that Messi is a soccer player or a football player, whatever you want to call it, whatever you call it. Let's just say soccer player, because I'm in Canada, but North America you say soccer, other places you say football. Anyways, he plays this sport professionally. That is what he is predominantly paid to do. That's the reason why he's famous. He is not a shoe designer, which I think a lot of people misinterpret when they see signature models, especially, is that Messi goes to Adidas and he designs his own shoe and then they make it for him. That is not the case whatsoever. Adidas has designers in place. Adidas has people who specialize in this kind of thing, basically making the next Messi boot, and then it's given to him for, I would assume some kind of approval. But obviously, even in this situation, there wasn't much of an approval if Messi doesn't want to wear the top end boot within the line. So again, that's where there's a little bit of confusion, and to me, just a big mistake on Adidas' part. And how do you have such a big high-profile player where everyone's going to notice what shoes that he's wearing and he's not wearing his own shoe? That to me is absolutely crazy. Yeah, he's still wearing a boot from his own line, the Messi 16.1, and that's great for this shoe, but what does it mean for the $300 model? What is the sales pitch on this particular boot if the player that is headlining this particular line of shoes does not want to wear it? That's something that to me has always blown my mind. I still can't believe it's been happening for as long as it has. And it's not just Adidas who has done this before. LeBron had, I believe he had a foot injury, or he had some kind of an issue with the LeBron, I want to say they were the 11s, and he didn't wear the 11s for the entire season. He kept wearing the LeBron 10s. They had another situation with Kevin Durant when he broke his foot and he wasn't wearing the KD7s, he was wearing the KD6 for pretty much the entire generation of the KD7. So again, Nike and Adidas have done these mistakes before, but I think with a big name like Leo Messi, and I guess LeBron James and Kevin Durant are big names as well, I still think that this is something that is absolutely crazy that it's happening, that Adidas is giving this guy a signature line of shoes and he doesn't even like the top end model, because obviously the only explanation is he's not involved enough in the development of the shoe. He's not involved enough in what the final product ends up being. So again, this kind of circles back to what I like to preach on the channel, is that the way that these shoes are marketed means very, very little in terms of how you should go about picking your shoes. Yeah, it's cool that this shoe has the Messi name on it and it's Messi branded and he may be your favorite player, he may be your idol, but at the end of the day, he doesn't have any impact on what the shoe ends up being, so much so that he doesn't even want to wear it himself. He's wearing what's technically not a takedown model, but a lower end version of his own signature line. So that's something that I wanted to make a video on and just talk about. Even if it's something that you already knew, I think that just bringing this up and raising some of the points that I did may open your eyes a little bit more to sports marketing and endorsement deals, because again, what these big name pros are wearing is down to money, not so much personal preference. And even when you do have a signature line, a shoe that is being marketed as, oh, the best shoe that Messi could possibly have, the shoe that he prefers, isn't always the case, because clearly with this whole situation, he was not very much involved with the top end version. And I guess if you want an explanation as to why he might prefer the 16.1 over the 16 plus, just based on my evaluation of the two shoes, I would assume it mostly comes down to extra bulk, because obviously with this lace cover and then the liner on the inside and then the layer for the laces, you have more material on your foot, which I would assume he wants something that's going to be more natural, more close to the foot in terms of touch, which is kind of what you get with the 16.1 over the 16 plus. This is just a bulkier shoe overall. So I think that would be probably the main reasoning. But again, he's wearing a custom variation of whatever shoe that he's wearing. So I'm not sure if the shoe that he wears, the 16.1, is even necessarily the same upper material. If it's the same burrito style tongue, it's probably going to be a custom shape, so I would imagine that's different. But who knows about the sole plate? Stud patterns are going to vary as well. He's always had his own custom version, but again, I still think it's crazy that he doesn't wear a shoe that at least looks somewhat like the Pure Agility. So Adidas isn't even really trying to hide it all that well themselves. Nonetheless, let me know your thoughts on this situation down below in the comment section. If you have any questions, I guess, I'll try my best to answer them down below as well. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all of my social media information linked down below as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. And as always, thanks for watching.